we are following, of course, these elections very, very closely. What's really different about the vote this time?
Yeah, Heidi, I think the main thing that Malaysia and Malaysians really want to put behind them is identity politics, especially following that shock defeat in 2018 of the ruling Barisan Nasional Party, which is now back in power following the collapse, of course, of the opposition, which is being helmed by Anwar Ibrahim. And they are actually ahead, according to the latest polling for this election. But that coalition had won 13 out of the past 14 elections, and of course then plagued by the 1MDB scandal, where you now have the former Prime Minister Najib Razak in jail for serving a 12-year sentence over that. So we are seeing more than 21 million Malaysians going to the polls this weekend. Some of them for the first time. They've actually lowered the voting age from 21 to 18. So that means there's going to be almost 6 million new voters really casting their play here in terms of who they want to lead the country. And there are those three key parties. Of course, we've got UMNO now being helmed by the current Prime Minister, Ismail Sabri Yaakob. He seems to be quite unpopular at the moment in the latest polling, particularly calling this election during the risky monsoon season. Then you have the opposition leader Anwar Ibrahim, as I mentioned, ahead of the polls. And we still have the former Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad saying that he will put his hat in the ring as Prime Minister at age 97, going for his Langkawi seat. So a lot at play here, but a lot of identity politics, as I mentioned, have really plagued Malaysia, and most Malaysians hoping that that will be able to put that behind them and really focus on growing the economy and moving forward.
So what's at stake? Is it the future of the economy? Is it the future of, daily cost of living?
Yeah, absolutely. It is like most nations around the world. Everybody is focused on the rising cost of living. You have about 60% of households in Malaysia saying that they are unable to meet their monthly basic needs amidst rising prices. You have more than 70% that don't have household savings. So this is really what it is going to come down to. The economy, how do you afford to put food on the table, rising the cost of the average income here too, rather than focusing on the 1MDB scandal, which really plagued the elections back in 2018. A number of other factors for Malaysians heading in. I mean, I mentioned rising cost of living. It's really about food security and sustainability. And also when you've got the ringgit at this 24-year low, that is not good for a country that is a net food importer, hoping to win some more domestic, international, investment here coming through. But the one positive thing that we've seen on Malaysia, it did have a very strong COVID-19 vaccine program, one of the strongest in the world. And we saw that incredible growth coming through in the second quarter, 8.9% GDP. So there are some green shoots in the economy, but certainly the cost of living is going to be what really determines this election and those people heading to the polls tomorrow.